Hello, Mr. Cesar. My name is Ezgi and my partner is İrem. Today we will gonna talk about the extraordinary novel from Bernhard Schlink, The Reader. So firstly, we would like to share our opinions about the book and then just discuss the questions. So firstly, what do you think about the book generally?
I think it was really extraordinary,
Mm-hmm.
and it was easy to read because it was really interesting, and I thought a lot about the characters and their insights, their opinions, because their actions were need to be interpreted by our logic, and to understand them, they were not that much clear. I believe so. So while I'm reading, I feel like that I was also thinking with them too about their actions, about what should they do, about the Kantian logic. So it was a nice experience for me.
Yeah, me too.
what
I
do you
agree
think?
with you. So firstly, the topic that explained in the book is not just that the first chapter is talking about a love story
Yeah,
and
but
the
it is not a love
relationship
story. Yeah.
between Hannah and Michael, but later on we see that the historical background of the Nazi regime and after that the trials. And so, as you said, I really think much about the concepts of guilt, responsibility, the collectiveness, the crime, what is the punishment. And so this is my second time that I read this book, and my feelings about Hannah did not change. I still not a fan of Hannah, but questioning this book with the Kantian logic is I believe we understand the Kant's logic better with this book.
Yeah, because it wasn't an easy example to think about or to answer the questions about it. Where we have to we put ourselves in a hard position, such as in Hannah or Michael.
Yes.
So I believe that it increased my criticizing capabilities and questioning capabilities. Do you want to start with the first question?
Yes.
Okay. How does Hannah explain her past actions?
So firstly, she did not deny what she had done. So, but the thing that she had done is she has done was wrong, and
so you find that her actions wrong?
Yes.
Okay.
I totally agree.
Okay. Which actions specifically?
So firstly, what she did in the concentration camps, and also what she did in that church. So she let people to die and burn in that church.
So you are against, you are not approving her position as a guardian in the concentration camp. So it was a bad choice at the beginning. And then you are not approving that she didn't open the doors and didn't save the people.
Yes.
Okay. And I think about right and wrong. This is really hard to answer. How can we say that something is right or wrong?
Yes.
But I believe that according to the Kant, rightness or wrongness doesn't matter. The importance is the main motivation behind the actions.
So you believe that the
I'm
did not justify the means.
Yeah, actually, I'm not meaning that. I'm just trying to understand in a different way, because for categorical imperative, its definition is and it is unconditionally valid moral commandment. And Kant argues that the motivations behind actions are important. So in the church, I believe that maybe I'm putting a positive image on Hannah because there is another option, but I believe that Hannah was thinking as this is my duty. I have to prevent them from the escape. So I can't save them, because she was so focused on fulfilling her duty.
Yes.
But of course, there's another perspective, and this is Hannah's decision is driven by subjective feelings, and she's just afraid of the Nazis to punish her because saving them. This can be happen, but I'm believing the first option, and as her position in the concentration camp, I believe that while starting that job, she didn't use her practical reason.
Yeah, I
And-
totally agree with you. So because she shame, the feeling of shame is go beyond in Hannah's decision. So she was really ashamed
You're so
of
right, yeah.
being illiterate.
Yes.
But
So she was just focusing on finding another job.
yes.
And this job came and she accepted it.
Mm-hmm.
For her, it, as you mentioned, she didn't think about the things that she should do during that job or the requirements and etc.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree with you.
So what about what do you think about the second categorical imperative of Kant? Respect the human dignity. Do you believe that Hannah is 100% honest with what she had said?
I'm thinking she acted different than other guardians in the court, and she most of the time, not always, she most of the time denied lying and tried to say she was telling the truth, and even that it was not beneficial for their case, and this was preventing their chance to have little punishment, but that she did this. For Michael, she was in search for the truth, and she was in search for the knowledge, I believe, and I almost agree with that, because her actions are showing that she was just trying to understand what could have she done, could have done, and what did she wrong. This is why I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking she didn't use her practical reasons at the first time.
Yes.
At the beginning.
She did not ask the question herself.
Yeah.
What ought I to do?
Yeah, this is. But I know that you're more negative about honesty. And do you want to explain why?
Yes, because as we see in Kant's moral principles, the honesty is always the better option. Because lying cannot be universalized, because it's universally accepted as a wrong.
Yeah.
So, for example, in the court, Hannah lied to a judge, and this is not a place that you can lie, because you said that I will tell the truth, all the truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
But she lied that, and she said that I wrote this report. And the motivation behind that, because she's illiterate and she already done some bad things, and she don't want to accuse with that another
ashamed behavior.
Yes. And she lied in there, and also the holiday trip with Michael, she also lied there. But Michael also lied to Hannah, and he said that I am older than what I say to you.
So you are thinking they both act opposite as Kant's second categorical imperative.
Yes.
And
thinking lying is unrespectful act to human dignity.
Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. But also, I just want to give Hannah a small point as well. She at least that she tell the truth in the court most of the time.
Yeah.
If we look at the third categorical imperative of the Kant, he is saying that one should act always a member of
Universal Republic.
Yeah, universal, a law-making member of Universal Republic. And I believe that during the concentration camp, Hannah didn't act in that way.
Yes.
And she acted as a guardian which works for the Nazi government.
Not a member of the Universal Republic, but a member of a Nazi regime or
it was more important for her than the human violations or under respect to the human beings. So I think that she didn't act according to this categorical imperative as well.
Yeah, I believe it. I agree with you.
Do you want to move to the second question?
Yes.
Affair with Hannah, what teach to the Michael?
So I believe that in the first place, the relationship generally is not appropriate for me, because he is small, like younger than Hannah, and I think I don't see as a healthy relationship. And also he was always wanted to make Hannah happy, even though she hasn't done anything. Michael always wanted to make things right for her, but I don't think that the Hannah give as much importance maybe, or like
Committed?
yes,
maybe?
committed in the relationship, but they have. I don't want to say relationship.
Yeah, but do you think that it was a relationship or it was an abuse? Some
I
people
don't-
see this as an abuse. I don't know.
No, I don't think as an abuse, because both sides have consent and no one pushed him or her as what they did. But I don't think it's a good combination.
Yes, you're right.
And also the acts of Hannah and the way he treated Michael is not wrong as well. And even though the things that Hannah did in her life is not wrong, and after that Michael was really impressed from Hannah, and he could not understand why she had left or where did she go. And after that, after like studying law and while he was going to the trials, he was ashamed, or like sometimes he felt guilty that he loved Hannah, like she did bad things. He like in the concentration camps he visited also, and he saw what these people like Jews lived, and he could not believe how can Hannah do this.
And I think it was devastating for Michael that
Yes.
even that knowing all of them, he was continuing to loving her.
Yes.
So I think from all of his life after like the court, he was in some kind of in a dilemma. Like he was loving Hannah, but he was accusing her, and he was hating to loving her, but he couldn't stop loving her.
Yes.
And he didn't want to stop that hate, or didn't want to stop blaming Hannah, because he was knowing that she was guilty.
Yes.
So like I think that from even that his adulthood times, he couldn't get over Hannah.
Yes.
He was always under effect of her, and he faced with the Nazi past of the Germany by his experience, his relationship with Hannah. So maybe he felt more responsibility and more guilt than other his friends or teenagers, because he was feeling the pressure on it. I think it affected him from all of his life, and I believe that he never forgave Hannah, but he accepted that he was loving her. But the things that Hannah did wasn't acceptable from Michael, because he focused on the topic deeply, and it affected his life.
Yeah, I agree with you. And also I think like we should make a distinction between guilt and responsibility in here. And also for example, Hannah is guilty, no doubt, but she is not the only responsible one. Generally the responsibility should be collective, and because she did not do this by herself, because somebody says that you should do this, and she just followed the orders. If you look at the Kant's perspective, she just did her duty, and there's nothing wrong with that, but the action that she did was wrong. So she is guilty. And also I would like to ask, for example, Michael understand that Hannah is illiterate, but he was really in a, like you said, in a dilemma that whether I should tell that to the judge or I shouldn't, because if he says so, the Hannah's punishment will gonna drop like the other perpetrators, but he did not. What do you think about that?
I think this is one of the conclusions that I drew from this novel, that I learned and I thought about it as well, and I find it really makes sense. Nothing can make a better decision than another person.
Yes.
For another person. In that point, Michael talked with his father and thought a lot about on it, but he noticed and he decided that if one makes a decision, even that the consequence is bad for herself or himself that the other should respect of it, even that their consequences is better, because we can know it, but just we should respect that human beings' decisions.
Yes.
So it was really important for me, and because sometimes we might cross the borders for the people that we love.
Yes.
And Michael can do that by two ways without intervening her decision. He could have talked with the Hannah, or he could have, I don't know, maybe lead judge to find out the truth. But after a point, especially that he talked with the judge, he was feeling more feelingless. At that point, at one point, he was just let the things go.
Yes.
And I think it kept going for all his life. He was more feelingless than before.
So do you think that Michael did the right thing by not telling anything about the judge that Hannah is illiterate?
As I say, what is the right thing? Because it is in a way bad, because the persons who has to get the real punishment, the more punishment, took less punishment, the other guardians. So it's in a way bad, but in a way that Michael respected other person's decision. So in a way it is good. So I'm not clear about right and wrong.
Yes.
Sorry for that. What do you think?
So I agree with you. So like in life, there is no black and whites. There are always grays. So we should think this topic as one of the gray ones. So there's like no good way. But for example, if Michael did say to judge that she did not know how to read and write, so she couldn't write this report. So maybe Hannah will become more furious about Michael, and why did you do that? You are not my, like for example, you are not in the position that could save me, and this can be bad for their relationship, even though there isn't anymore after Hannah left. So this is a complicated, and there's a lot of door opens to that topic.
But didn't you feel like at the end of the novel, like when you noticed that how Hannah's mindset changed in the prison and with the things that she read, and with the help of the Michael, that reading and writing is such a gift?
Yes, but I think she got too late to learn how to read and write.
Yeah, you are so
and
right.
then think about her actions.
You are so right.
And for example, at the end, she saved all of this money in the prison, and at the end she suicide. And I think this is the
you're angry about that.
Yes. So for example, you're talking with Michael, and you know that your actions affected him in his whole life, and before the day you just go out from the prison, you just killed herself.
Yes, but
and
she was feeling like a burden to Michael, and it was true.
Yeah, it was true, but I think this is another bad thing, that
selfishness.
Yes, selfishness of Hannah. And also at the end, for example, the money that she saved, and what the purpose of Hannah is giving to that money to that Jewish girl who saved her life from the church. I think this is not a good way to cover your mistakes.
Yes, you are right. But at least that it was showing that she was sorry. She was saying that girl to that, I am sorry. I think it is in a way better to say nothing. So it was
right.
it was her last action. But what do you think that like Michael's decision? She gave the money from another Jewish people
association, like about the literacy. I think this is the right thing to do for like living the give a life to Hannah's name. And maybe I don't know, but it's really meaningful for me. So for example, she just suffered from all of her lives because she's just illiterate. She joined the SS camps because she's illiterate. She did all of these things because she's illiterate. And at the end, the money goes to people who do not know how to read and write. And she wanted to Michael wanted to create a difference for Hannah.
I believe that I don't know. I feel like the speeches of Hannah in the court, like since that she was able to read and write, and because reading allows us to look at from different perspectives and learn more, and she wasn't a critical, rational human being.
Yes.
So maybe she could have acted different.
Yes, but
just I'm saying it as a possibility, but you're right. So
and this is interesting that she wanted from the head of the prison, like I wanted to read about the Jewish people, like Holocaust, what Nazi did, and
so it was showing her guilt about her past actions.
But this is a late decision, because at the beginning she knows she did something wrong, but she did not understand what is her guilt. And at the end she understands all of these years in prison. She actually eventually understands what she has done wrong.
Yes, but in Kantian perspective, if she's motivation was fulfilling her duty, I think that it was still wrong because she didn't act for Universal lawmaking member of Universal Republic. So in general, we think like Hannah's actions were not right.
Yes.
And
that's it.
That's it.
Thank you for listening to us. See you.
See you.